Today we're going to be looking at a top 10 cards. I know it's a lot more than top 5 that I would make sure that I have in my possession going forward here. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. So we're going to be looking at those top 10 cards. There will be decent pickups. Make sure you have these for particular reasons to do with the meta or just good opportunities in general. So the first one's going to be Diamond Dust. Now this is a new trap card. Actually, it's pretty old. It came out of Dusa. So it literally just says destroy as many water monsters on the field as possible, and then inflict 500 damage to your opponent for each water monster destroyed and sent to the graveyard by this effect. Now we have Marin, we have a whole chunk of new water stuff coming into the meta, and you might notice the very easy thing to do with this. Chainability is good. Alright, you have a trap card that literally just wipes your opponent's field for free. It kind of stinks it can wipe your own water monsters too, but why are you playing this in a water deck? 5-head? Come on now. These are very cheap. I only mention this card as one of those options. It's very cheap. I mean, it blanks an entire matchup, and I mean, what, like $2 you can pick up a set. I'm not saying go out and get like 30 copies of these. This is the, oh, I want to have a set of these. Okay, not a bad idea. Number 2 on our list here is actually going to be Poisonous Winds. Now, Akino has been swearing to me by this card that this is one of the best options available out there for countering anything wind. And the card's just very simply a continuous spell card. It says, hey, wind monsters cannot be special summoned, and all face-up wind monsters on the field lose 500 attack points. Now, when you get these specific, very, very specific cards that hone in on these matchups to potentially make things a whole lot easier for you here, alright, this is one of those cards. Alright, generic floodgates say no to speedroids. Imagine being a speedroid player, somebody at your local side's Poisonous Winds against you, and you're just sitting there, death staring them in the face, going, what is wrong with you? And I don't think that this is a fantastic pickup, but once again, I'd have a set of these in case something ever comes up in application for this. Number 3 on our list here is Lord of the Heavenly Sky Prison. I've been on this card since this card came out. Alright, that back row protection is what you care about with this. Oh, and you know, just like a specific deck search, the ability to pull any resource that you need out of your deck. Oh, look at that. Bada bing, bada boom. Ah, it's in my hand now. What are you going to do about it? Back row decks love this card. Opponents hate this card. Alright, but it doesn't stop the fact from like just basically removing your opponent's card. It just says, and it can't be destroyed, but it's a 3K body, alright? Play this card in Eldritch or Trap Tricks and just kind of enjoy the looks on your opponent's faces as they go, what am I supposed to do about this? This is actually just BS. Alright, and I don't know, my friend played this for a couple regionals over the last 2 weeks, and I've only heard positive results. Actually, in testing with Eldritch too, this has been pretty frickin' good, all things considered. Next up here is actually going to be Judgment of the Pharaoh and Yujo Friendship. Now, these have all pretty much disappeared off the market at this point in time. I'm not saying go out and pay market price, but if you're somebody at locals or you know a friend that has a set of these and you kind of want to mess around with the virtual world list that was playing this, go pick them up. Alright, work out a deal. Alright, if Yujo Friendship's in your graveyard, your opponent gets VFD'd. Alright, that means they can't do anything. Alright, if you have Unity in your graveyard, by the way, so the reason why you're doing this is because Beatrice can drop these cards. If Unity's in your graveyard, Eldritch can't play the game because they can't negate the effects of all spell and trap cards on your opponent's side of the field, and your opponent cannot activate or set spells or traps. I'm just saying that we actually have had a VFD all the way back to Jump Promo 008, and not a single one of us batted an eye at this until somebody went, huh, Beatrice can dump that. Oh, Trap Trick exists. You know, why can't I take advantage of this? I mean, that's what you're looking at here, ladies and gentlemen. Next up on our list here is Token Collector. Now, we have the Brave Engine coming out here very, very soon, which means that Token Collector, basically his job is to take out an Omni Negate. Alright? And I know that's a little bit of a trade-off here, but you get that multi-purposing aspect, and I'm such a sucker for talking about multi-purposing cards that it's insane. I mean, hey, you want to take out that Brave token? That's fine. What if I could also multi-purpose that for the Sword Soul matchup? That means now the one card I'm citing covers 2 of those decks. Oh, Dinosaur runs around your locals. That's 3 builds. Hey, don't have to worry about your opponent giving you a stupid token that they can interact with if you just Token Collector them off of the field. Alright? It's also a level 4, by the way. You know how much that level 4 actually matters in the current game of Yu-Gi-Oh? Oh, and it's just free recurability every time the token actually ends up being destroyed. Good times, but something that I would make sure that I had right now if you haven't already. Next up is actually going to be Nordic cards. I've been messing around with this really, really fun Nordic Brave deck. And looking at the prices on Nordic stuff right now, you can get a Nordic deck for like 20 bucks. Alright. The only reason why I'm mentioning this is a long time ago, in all those like market updates, I was always mentioning all these people are buying Nordic cards from me. You guys remember those little updates? It's like, why do people do this? Well, after some like application, fun test, decks like Borderline Tier 2.5, it can do some things. They got a generic board wipe, or a board negate called Savalan, which is crazy. It's what Sun Avalon wished that they could have had, but they never got. So at the end of the day, I think 20 bucks is 20 bucks to have something on the side to mess around with and have some fun with. That's not even including the Brave Engine, but hey man, penny stonk is penny stonk at the end of the day. Alright, next up here is actually Godarla out of the new Brothers of Legend set. Now, for those of you that have looked at Brothers of Legend and you've been excited, you might have noticed something on those pre-sales. $1, $2 Godarlas. Now, mark my words on those Godarlas. Those Godarlas will go up. I'm just making this little point here to say this. $2 copies of Godarla is one of the most inviting things that we've seen in a very long time. You will see people destroy these off the market. You will see large numbers of these probably disappear on release. So if you're somebody that's like, oh, yeah, I would get a little bit ahead of the curve here. I'd take a look at these Godarlas and I would give some real gosh darn consideration to picking up a playset or a couple playsets of those just so you have them. Because as long as Stormwinds exist, you know, this will be the kaiju that you're going to want to have to get the chance to play the game. Next up here is Marin. Now, this is only going to be a nod for higher rarity Marin stuff, because typically when we get these duelist packs, we typically see reprints on a good chunk of the stuff included in these. So if you're somebody that's like, well, you know, like duelist packs around the corner, yes, duelist pack is around the corner at some point for us here, which means that we got to go look at the original prices on some of these higher rarity Marin cards. Some of these original prints will be what you want to focus on for your strategies, all right? People love OG prints. So if you're somebody out here that's like, oh, you know, like, all right, I've been debating on buying a Marin core at this point in time. The deck's not crazy good. It's still Towers Turbo with a boss monster at the end of the day, but, you know, the higher rarity stuff will disappear over time. It happens every single stupid time that stuff like this gets announced. So if you're somebody that's holding back on this, now's your chance. Next up is Dark Roller No More. Here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. With the current structure of the format being this board breakaroo format, you really got to focus on those big things. All right, and I got to break the board or I'm just SOL at that point in time. And I think that's going to be the one thing that I got to say here is this is the card of the format. All right, this is the biggest thing that you want to focus on for breaking those boards. So the next reprint will probably be in the structure deck, but at this point in time, I would focus on making sure that we have a set of these in our possession to make sure that we can actually play the game right now. Because let me tell you this, it is not fun not being able to play Yu-Gi-Oh right now, because some of those boards can be very freaking intimidating. All right, and the last thing I actually want to mention here is actually the Dragon Lark Pyron. And you're probably like, what the heck is this? It's 2 level 6 monsters, cannot be destroyed by battle or card effect, while a monster other than Dragon Lark Pyron is face up on the field that was special summoned from the graveyard during the standby phase. The extra material from this card, target a level 5 or lower monster in your graveyard and special summon it. Now, this is actually something the OCG started doing with Virtual World here. What if when Beatrice drop a King Tiger Wang, who are a fossil dino, something along those lines, a good stun monster. What if we go standby phase, revive that King Tiger Wang Hu? Now that, I mean, this is a little bit further down the line here, but what if we did that? What if we we're able to build a board based on Beatrice, this, and laugh at the opponent. Options to consider, ladies and gentlemen. You know, it doesn't have to be Fossil Dino, but Fossil Dino was the specific example we saw of the OCG. Just things to consider. So, guys, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. Smash all the crap out of that subscribe button. Say no miss on more awesome content, and I will see your beautiful faces back here later on the day with some more cool awesome content. Peace out, guys. Thank you, patrons, for making the ride never truly end. Without you guys' support, well, I would probably be doing Truffle Shuffle videos for a living. Guys, please check out Vanquill40 for all of your Cardfight Vanguard content brought to you by Vanquill40. And if you are looking to pick up singles, check out imquillgames.com for your trading card game needs. Thanks for watching, everybody.